So I think that's where Shopify is going to have to shine, is playing around Yopaj.
Well, it's time to find out as we jump into game number 1 here of Shopify versus Team Falcons. And Shopify smoked up, heading to the top side. Now they are going to be here on Skitter to take the Watcher. He'll rejoin his team towards the mid lane. I am curious what
they
this
did put an observer in the top. So
did they actually?
Oh,
yeah, they did.
I mean, this is for the first blood attempt. It's like normal to do that, but it'll also look for those creeps. Maybe we will see him walk over.
It is a ridiculous power difference getting something like the mana burn creep in that lane matchup. Ooh, Malrin's gonna know now.
It's also good versus Ogre. We were talking about Ignite being really scary with learning curve, but he's not that smart of a hero, so he does not have a huge mana pool. If you burn his mana, he really doesn't have much. He's gonna have to go through a ton of consumables, which is costly.
Some would consider him the least smart hero, but Skitter, he fell for it, walks to the high ground here as the first blood attempt goes to the Drow Ranger. And you know, I was mentioning it's going to be easy for the Medusa to get her item timings, but that is as good of a start as you could ask for on the Drow. They're not...
At least Falcon's got 3 bounty runes, so they kind of got something as they lose the Medusa. What does Yamato want to spend his money on?
In that lane?
Man's going to tango to try to help out. They do have to be careful with their positioning. Like, if Crit gets the dead shot back into a stomp, you'll take a bunch of damage in that lane.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's actually really nice about the Lion, like you said, in this lane is Ogre, kind of a dumb hero. Lion, once he has level 2, can just Earth Spike mana drain. It's going to make it really hard for him to actually have that much impact in the lane. So, yeah, really good heads up there. I didn't really consider that, but Lion's super annoying to play against in the lane for a lot of reasons. And when your hero has very little mana, that's definitely one of them.
They've already got some mangoes prepared, but it's like usually Medusa wants a bunch of mangoes, right? Because that's your survivability. Or you want the supports to use them on you to keep you alive. So if you have to use it for yourself to harass, you better be getting something out of it. I do think Shopify should have a decent time top. We'll see if that mana creep comes into play to further exacerbate those issues.
Right now, he's got the Frost attack, so that's a little sad. So not what he's looking for quite yet, but he did clear out the wave in the creep camp in the process.
Mid lane looks pretty even so far. I don't expect to see a kill here. I say as Mallory gets kind of low, but these are pretty tanky mid laners. I imagine they'll just both get what they need until we see those rotations, which should come from the Earth Spirit first. We'll see what he can get done at that time. It's not really the best ganking lane. You know, you got like a Medusa and a Centaur. Kind of tough.
I think Yopaj was trying to pull his own creeps into the tower there so that it would punish Malrine for going for the rune, and it didn't work. And he ended up just taking like 3 tower shots. But I was trying to figure out what he was doing with the creep bagger there, but I mean, it's a good idea, good attempt. Doing quite well in the Earth Spirit. The big thing we're going to look for is the level 5 timing. It seems like every single time this hero gets to the level 5, or maybe like 5.5, he's going to be TPing into these side lanes, looking for these kills, trying to get active on the map.
And those seem to be the most successful Earth Spirit games. It's what's unique about him, right? That you don't really need your ultimate, you don't need a blink dagger, you just roll in and kick people. And it feels like if you're not leaning into that playstyle, it's probably better to just pick someone else, especially after the nerfs that came in, which was, it just made him so good. It's like, oh, if I can't gank, I'll just farm really well. But the farming speed is what got nerfed, so you're forced into the ganking playstyle.
I don't know if I saw Snake King's inventory correctly, but I'm pretty sure I saw 3 mangoes and like 4. Yes. Okay. So he had 3 mangoes and a clarity, and he always had to buy another clarity and yeah. Okay. His entire mana pool, or his entire early game items, is just mana regen right now.
Fortunately, they couldn't push up to get the Lotus. That would have helped them as well. But this lane has just been shoved in to the Dire safe lane, which does mean Medusa's getting farmed, but you can't really move out. And Shopify is actually farming some of the camps in the meantime. So Doom having a pretty decent start.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Satyr. He sees this.
He can go back there for it, though. It's kind of risky.
He can just walk, you know, walk the long way. I would 100% grief my lane to go get that creep. But that's why I lose a lot of my games, you know.
That's why we're talking about him playing instead of the other way around.
I'd be like, yeah, I have one objective. It is to get this Satyr. Nothing else matters. Level 5 now for Yopaj. Gets the 3rd point in the boulder kick. God, it is so good. Level 3 boulder kick is ridiculous. Oh, top lane. Snaking actually falling quite low. Will pop the stick, get a little bit of extra regen, but the Hex comes out. Hellscream's just gone full in on this kind of control build. Has an Earth Spike in 1. The Inferno Blade holding down Skitter long enough for him to get away. A very nice kill here in the top lane, as Hellscream actually had a salve as well. So he's going to be able to just jump right back into the action here. Ooh. I'm assuming a dead shot set that up. I don't know how he'd be out of position. Yeah, it was.
Looks like it. Yeah, that's the
Very
danger.
nice
Deadshot being such a long range. If they ever want to nerf this hero as a support, the Deadshot range is where they can hit it. Because you get knocked back as that squishy hero into the stomp, the double edge. You just... so much of your health is gone.
Hellscream immediately pings it. He's like, yep, I saw that, Snaking. I saw you place that ward. All right, Malrine gets level 6, mid lane. They're going to try and rotate in here. A nice Sphere comes out into the silence as well. He needs to get the roll. Does drop the Magnetize first. He's going to start getting some help from Skem. Is honestly, this Magnetize, it's going to punish these guys heavily. Both supports going to die underneath the tower. Now, Malrine finds a shield rune of all things to keep him alive. He's now looking to finish off Skem here on this Phoenix underneath the tower. Is he going to get punished for this one? He might not. He's just doing the damage himself, trying to chase down this Lion. Will not be able to do it. Ends up being a nice 2 for 2. Good win here for Falcons in the mid lane.
You're making good use of the hitting level 6 just a little bit sooner. That's why those early denies matter a lot. He didn't quite have Magnetize at the start of that. He did pick it up as everyone grouped up. But yeah, just took too much damage in the beginning. Nice spell combos from Falcons. Not too surprising. Kurt's really good with Morta. Don't expect to see too many misses from him on these dead shots and the callings.
Hellscream, however, kind of a big winner in that fight. He is almost level 6 on the Lion.
Oh, he's got Fist of Death too, man.
Oh, wow. Okay, that is not what I expected. I assumed Essence Eater would be like the build against someone like, you know, Medusa.
No way. Hellscream's a baller.
He's here to just punch people, so I respect it. Snaking here, going to take a decent chunk of damage. The Gorgon's Grasp going to hold down Amaterasu for the moment, but they will finish him off. Burn him down is now Skem making his presence known here in the top lane. It's going to cause some problems here for Skitter.
Auto rotating over.
Drow as well. Dude, he's the lowest level on the team. Level 4 on the Drow. Everyone else is level 5. All right, he's finally got it.
He got killed in lane. Lost a little bit of XP there.
They ain't no crits up here. Yeah, they had a ward. They just get him on the gust right away, and now the chase is going to continue. Frost arrows from the top, but a nice Centaur Stampede might get him out. Amar thought about going for the dive, won't do it, but in comes Yopaj. The roll into the kick, securing that kill. Does need to be a little bit careful about the mid lane tower now, though.
Yeah, Mallory's trying to punish it with his ultimate. Hellscream's doing an okay job at keeping, like, trying to distract the creeps. So it won't take too much damage. But these are the kind of rotations Yopaj has to make. First one, decent success, but he's going to have to keep that going. And we do have Doom available. Now, it's not very good to use on Medusa because of that mana shield. So maybe we might see him make his way over through the Twin Gate. Maybe a smoke over to that mid lane.
Yeah, I don't think you want to gank the Doom lane. You kind of want to force Doom to be the one to waste his time ganking, right? So I doubt we're going to see the Doom really get put to any good use anytime soon, but Hellscream gets his level 6 on the Lion here. He's going to walk bottom. They have level 6 on the Phoenix as well, so they just hit some big timings. The question is, will they find anybody? And it's going to be snaking here on the Ogre. The Hex comes out.
You know you want to Hellscream.
You got to drop the finger. You got to do it. Does commit. Gets the kill. Stack number 1 here for the Lion. Yeah, Ogre, very tanky. So just force the finger. Obviously, you want to save that for the core if possible, but what can you do? You know, you still get the kill.
So they tried to play that real fast. Right after the bottom kill, they wanted to go mid. But I think there was literally a fraction of a second difference of Yopaj TPing first versus the Phoenix. And because of that, the delay allowed Malrine to just walk away out of there. So just a slight slip up on the timing there.
They want to use this Doom. Malrine, he's going to get caught from it. The boulder kick is out. You've got to magnetize, but he's got to connect on the roll. It's up to Yopaj. Stampede will get them to safety for now. He's so close to getting the roll. The egg gets dropped right on top of the takedown. The Ogre, the kick connects onto Malrine, and here it is. Yopaj finally getting him onto the backside. Now, really nice egg to catch the other two. Now it's just going to be Skinner left on the Medusa. Mana drained up as the rest of Shopify is just going to dive onto him. The roll to connect kicks him outside of the tower range. Out of mana now. Does have a stick as well as a Lotus, and that's going to buy him a little bit of time, but the TP in from Amar will push them back. Skinner gonna survive.
Drums on the Doom playing a lot of value there. So that's one of the reasons for the Centaur pick, is that when you get doomed, you can just try to stampede away, reset the fight until the Doom ends. But with a fast hero, Doom used phase boots and the boots, and then they also rolled with the Earth Spirit. They were actually able to just keep chasing through the Stampede to eventually pick up those kills. Now, they did get low through that, so they can't defend their mid tower. So Falcons at least get something out of that play, but I mean, 10-3, Shopify gonna feel pretty good about these kills, but it's actually not a huge net worth difference. Falcons is doing pretty well maintaining the farm.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you definitely want to try and just keep these spells, you know, on cooldown. If you're Shopify, you want to get the most out of them while you can. But it is kind of just forcing fights away from your Drow Ranger, and that is exactly what you need to do. Like, you take a little bit of time for Skitter, right? He's forced to kind of TP in, maybe help for this fight. Doesn't get anything really out of it. Meanwhile, Yamato on the bottom side having a great time. He's chilling. Does need to be a little bit careful though now, as Amar showing back up on the Centaur does have the Stampede available.
Amplify bottom, who's gonna get there first? They don't have the vision. They're too scared to go over, so it looks like it is gonna go to the Dragon Knight.
That's a blink coming out as well, so this is a big timing for the side of Falcons now, if they can get something out of this blink dagger reveal.
The smoke. Looks like they want to go top for the Doom. They know he doesn't have his ultimate. He's not too strong. Oh, actually, it is back up. That happened longer ago than I realized.
Lion is in a decent spot for this. Ooh. Dude, they know exactly what's going on here. They're expecting this to TP. The blink reveals onto the Doom. The silence is there. Does he get it off, though? He's not going to be able to. Dies before being able to respond, but in comes Yopaj. The Magnetize is out. The Stampede going to buy him some space. And that will be enough for the reset. Very good disengage from Falcons.
How did they know he was there? Was it just a smoke break? I think it must have been. They were like slowly inching forward the smoke break, so they knew exactly where to jump.
Someone had vision on a weird angle. I don't know who it was, but when I looked at it, I think we switched to the dire view at one point, and someone had a weird angle on him that saw him.
Okay. Tree lines are weird like that sometimes. That is a nice find. Good reveal of the blink.
Triangle stacking, going to be coming out from crit. Right now, you said earlier, like Shopify had those really good fights, but it's just Falcons getting so much net worth, and now 2 at the top, and Medusa really not that far behind. Probably going to pass the Doom sooner rather than later. Malrine finds an Invis rune. The Doom comes out. They drop the Sentry, but can they stay on top of him is the question. They just don't have the detection. They don't have enough damage to secure this kill. And now with Amar coming in, he's going to get the stomp here onto the Doom. Amaterasu in a little bit of trouble. Malrine still thinking of jumping back in. He gets it. And now in comes Yopaj. Tries to kick him up onto the high ground, but it just barely falls short. And Egg's going to come out to try and hold them at bay. Can they finish off the Egg? The big magnetize onto 4. Hellscream comes in as well. Off the mark with the stump, but Yopaj is falling. He's trying to get the finger onto Malrine, and he can't do it. Everybody on Falcons is going to live. What a disaster for Shopify.
That was unreal.
This Stampede is doing so much. That is, I feel like the third fight that Shopify wants to take. They want to find a gank, and people keep either they get away or they draw them in deeper, giving Falcons time to react. And man, that's going to be a real game-changing event right there, because that just built up a big gold lead. So this would be a kill without Stampede, right? They would just run him down, but everyone else can come in.
A lot of the spells are just coming off cooldown during this. Like Magnetize is not up right now when he rolls in, otherwise he would have used it. Stampede is not up yet on the side of Falcons, right? Egg comes out, Magnetize just gets dropped immediately, and now Stampede is up, gets them all out. Like it's down to just a split second on a lot of these decisions here, and Hellscream kind of gets punished for greeting for the finger kill onto the Dragon Knight as opposed to just securing a kill, which he could have gotten on the Ogre. But that's obviously like a hindsight thing.
It feels a little bad to use finger on an Ogre when there's a Dragon Knight core nearby, though.
Yeah,
I kind of get it, but yeah, in hindsight, now that you didn't get anything out of that, it feels pretty bad.
And just suddenly like that, the gold lead explodes for the side of Falcons. Up 5,000 right now. It's just off of that fight too. Like they were only maybe just slightly about 1,000, 1,500 gold ahead, and suddenly turns it into a massive gold advantage. Silence out from both heroes here. Crit should be able to get away. Well, I say that. Really nice boulder kick. Whoa, okay, that's an interesting interaction.
There's
I don't think that's intended.
Where if roll is like kind of going, it doesn't seem to always be interrupted.
Oh,
looks like
you're
they're
happy
gonna
with this
find
trade.
Drow, yeah. Snaking picks it up. That's fine. You get the core kill. That's all that matters.
Yeah. They did get the tier 1 tower, but still super worth it.
Bottom tower is going to take a lot of damage. Centaur can start tanking it with Retaliate.
Yeah, it's dead.
You're going to have one TP in.
Doom's going to get scouted. Amar, he immediately kicked back. Really good use of that. Now the Stampede's going to give him some space. The pipe does come out as well. Now Yopaj is going to try and continue to stay on top of the Magnetize. Now going between the 3. Hellscream comes in on the line. A nice Hexa stun into that split shot from this Drow Ranger, but it's just not enough damage. Again, walking away on no HP for Falcons. As the egg pops, they've lost 2 big cores. They jump in for more. They get the Drow Ranger. He's going to fall as Skidder. Gets himself a triple kill. Now the Phoenix and Hellscream. Not long for this world as Falcons are about to wipe Shopify under their own tower.
5 for nothing.
They are just outplaying them completely in these fights.
They have such a tanky lineup. Usually Magnetize does so much in early fights, but everyone's so tanky, they're living through it and actually killing Earth Spirit before he can keep refreshing the Magnetize. So it was actually a pretty good connection on the roll. The Stampede did get the rest of his teammates nearby though, which is why they then get to respond with the quick blink, stun. Look, Yopaj is gone. I think that was like 2 refreshes maybe. But yeah, then the Magnetize just ends, and does your Doom and Drow really have the damage? Good disengage from the Phoenix Egg, so no one even got caught by that?
Yeah, it just feels like there's every single body on the side of Falcons is tanky, right? The Medusa, incredibly tanky core. You have the Ogre, super tanky 5 position, and even the Muerta, thanks to obviously Pierce the Veil, a hero that can become super tanky and difficult to kill. So they're just unable to secure any of these kills on the side of Shopify, whereas Falcons, a single stun probably is enough to kill anybody.
I'm looking for more top. Well, I know Yopaj's in the area, but he's going to get out with a... Oh! I thought he was guaranteed
That
out.
was
That was close. It should clear them the area, though. I think they can do Roche here if they want. It's kind of close without the Medusa, but she could maybe TP in. Hey, yeah, okay, here she comes.
And they're just tanking up on all of these heroes. If you look at the builds, right? It's like Pipe, Blade Mail for Amar. You've got, you know, Manta into Scotty for the Medusa. Malreen's got a Blink Mage Slayer into a Sanj, so probably just Sanj and Yasha after that. Like, all of these heroes are building just pure tank.
Yeah, and, you know, maybe Trout could have the damage later on in the game, but didn't have the greatest start, so that damage is kind of lacking here. And with the Pipe finished up, you know, we were talking about that percent HP damage that could come in. It does help, but the Pipe does a ton of work in negating all of that long enough for you to kill off the necessary heroes, kill the egg, kill the drow, you know, whatever you need to do. Soon BKBs will probably come out for some of these heroes as well.
Great aggressive ward placed here behind the tier 2 to just try and secure the siege. They'll take the 20-minute Tormentor and then the tier 2 tower. They're waiting, maybe thinking there might be a smoke rotation come out from Shopify, but no. They are not wanting to contest here, so a big win here once again, taking away the enemy Tormentor. A nice little fire shield there now for Snaking. And the only thing you're gonna get out of this on Shopify is maybe the tier 1 tower.
They're pinging Tormentor, but I think Falcons will get back and defend it once they finish this tier 2, if they have to, or if they can just force you back because they're pushing the high ground. All right, then like, go ahead, take my Tormentor.
Yeah, I think they're okay taking a tier 3 for the Tormentor. Now they are gonna smoke on the side of Shopify, and they're coming back, maybe thinking, okay, they're expecting us to do the Tormentor. It's taking a little bit longer, perhaps, but no, they're not gonna get anything out of this. Like, they're trying to find an opening on the backside. You've got the Doom positioned to try and find a target, but it's just Skitter on this Medusa sitting on the high ground.
I'm gonna get in.
And you can't stop this. You got to do something. Mana drains, Hex, like anything to try and prevent this hero from just taking your axe for free. The roll. Yopaj, he missed his own stone.
No.
Oh, my goodness. Your surprise roll, kickback, not going to happen now. And Shopify just slowly losing this lane of barracks. They're going to pop the drums in from the Doom. Another smoke comes out from Shopify, but a melee barracks is dead. Skitter still on a decent chunk of health. The Doom's going to catch the Dragon Knight, but he did get the ultimate off, so he's going to do plenty of damage in this fight as he just goes right through Yopaj. He is super dead. Stampede comes out, and Shopify are just crumbling. They are at a complete loss on what to do in this game.
I mean, it's not supposed to be a 16k gold lead for a Medusa team at this point, but this is kind of that check we were talking about, which is that Shopify has typically played a pretty strong early game style, but Falcons is a very good team when it comes to laning and the early game. I also think the draft, I mean, we can say this in hindsight now that we've seen the game play out, but Earth Spirit really did get hit kind of hard by the nerfs, and I have seen him find successes, and that's why we still see teams pick it. But I think Falcons had a great answer for it, right? They know that Earth Spirit has to rotate nowadays. They picked very tanky side lane, so he couldn't really find a bunch of rotations without it taking a long time. And in that time, you just farm wherever he isn't. So it didn't feel like those rotations really paid off. And then the Magnetize in these early games, you're like trying to go through like a Centaur with 2,500 health. It takes forever for Magnetize to do anything there. Yeah. It just feels like this Earth Spirit pick is not paying off. And this Stampede has done so much versus the Doom.
That's a great stun target. Can they get the egg off? No, no chance at all. Does have the buyback. He's going to use a Yopaj with Blade Mail, trying to just get away. Now, they will get the Aegis out of Skitter, but will they be able to get him a second time is the big question. Looks like they're a little bit too afraid to chase here, as the calling is just zoning them all out. Jump in. Malreen's going to get an attempt there onto the Doom, but a nice BKB. Yopaj off the mark with his roll. He's going to catch an Atos instead. A Gust onto 3, but the pushback now from Crit. Tries to roll away, but gets caught from the stomp, and Yopaj goes down. No Earth Spirit, no Magnetize, no BKB on your Doom. This game looking almost all but over here for Shopify. Ooh, nice Manta dodge there on the...
They got fast reaction times, at least on Shopify. These Mantas and BKBs coming out real quick.
Well, one lane of barracks remaining.
You don't even have to force it right now.
No,
you did lose Aegis, but you got two barracks. You're very happy with where you're at. You can just hold the map, wait for the next Roche, or at some point, Shopify is going to have to try to get out of the map to farm something to get back into this. If you find a good pick off, you can then just force the last barracks. Or if you get a good kill, maybe you're just ending the game. I think you've got the damage with it for a Bloodlust Medusa.
This Sanjin Yasha Centaur build is actually so sick this game. Like, in general, like, the extra move speed is great, but the fact that the status resistance does wonders in this matchup, it is so good. Time for their own Tormentor now for Falcons. Who's going to get it? Goes to Malreen. All right.
It's actually fine. Usually the supports are a little sad, but you don't really want Muerta Shard until really late into the game. So they've actually got really good luck with that.
I didn't even realize Snaking did go Midas.
Hell.
I think he went the Glimmer Cape first, then went back for the Midas because of how much gold they got out of these last couple of fights. And it's one of those situations where it's like, we're going to win, but in case we don't win right away, at least I have a Midas, you know?
Yeah, you're making the case. You're like, scaling. The next tier 3 neutrals are coming out. I can guarantee them real quick. I think I should get a Midas, guys. What do you guys think?
I always love trying to justify a Midas on any hero in Dota. 23,000 gold advantage now for Falcons as Skitter picks up the Aghanim Scepter. So a very good item here. It will prevent the mana drain from Hellscream, which is the big thing because he doesn't have the shard yet. So you can't just sit back and try and mana drain the Medusa, as it will, send a Mystic Snake and cancel it.
Both those couriers just barely walking past this amplified damage rune. One of them scouted out. You could maybe take it and just try to force the last barracks. Looks like Crit will scout it out now. Let's see who they want to give it to. Looks like Malreen. A little bit of a desperation smoke from Shopify. Can't really blame them. You got to do something to mix up this game. But you have about a 10-second window before those creeps reveal that you are not in your base.
That's exactly what it is. This is your only time you're going to do it. They see Skitter. He's underneath the ward. The jump in. They get the Doom on top of him, but he just pops the Manta. The Stampede's coming out. This hero's not taking any damage at all. The fight, it's already looking rough here for the side of Shopify as they get Amar onto the backside, at least alone for the moment. Let's see if they can finish him off. The Finger of Death is out, but he's just tanked through so much with the Manta style comes out from the Drow. But Amar lives for so dang long, and it allows them to just run over the side of Shopify. It's going to be a triple kill for Skitter as Hellscream's the only hero to get out. The GG gets called. They realize there's no shot of them winning this game.
Yeah. Obviously, when you're 27k behind, it's going to look a lot worse. But I feel like that was the culmination of the issue they face this game, which is Falcons is so tanky that they do not have the damage to get these kills, especially as Stampede or Stone Gaze is breaking up the fight. So you have this...
You just go like boots first, rush for bottle, and you just sit back like throwing trees and and avalanches to try and get what you can, and then you just start ganking. So here we are, everybody. It is game 2 of Falcons versus Shopify. The last pick, Viper, coming out from Falcons. The mid lane of Malrine. We're going to see how that goes. Both teams smoked up on the top side of the map here.
Amaterasu rushes over. You're not going to do a like a lane swap, probably. We usually do see him just drop the webs mid to help with the runes. Would a brood mid do better? I don't know. That'd be kind of maybe. I don't know. The off lane, the tiny sounds weird, especially with boots.
Yeah, I think you need the Broodmother in the off lane.
Yeah, Yopaj is already stepping back to body block. He already knows. He's taking as many steps as possible to deal with this, though Viper doing the exact same thing.
Snaking denying a bounty with his an illusion. Kind of nice, actually. So it's going to be a 1-for-2 exchange in favor of Falcons. They're putting a lot of vision around mid lane as well on Falcons, and this is mostly to address potential ganks here. Like, you know, the Viper is going to win the lane. All you have to do is just make sure he doesn't get caught like overextending or in a bizarre gank here from Shopify. So I like that decision.
Some side lanes. I don't think you're destroying the safe lane as Shop. Like, the Falcon safe lane will be okay. At 6, Brood will, you know, do more. That's classic Brood. But, I mean, Skitter's probably going to have a decent start. Maybe the top lane is where you can get something going. I don't know. Pretty tough into the tanky Magnus.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I feel like you're not going to have much kill threat on the top side. Like, Pugna Sven doesn't really seem like a super scary, you know, lane duo. Pugna is not the strongest hero in lane versus especially someone like Alina who has as much range. Actually, maybe even slightly more range.
Yeah, 50 more range, 670 to 630.
Yeah. But mid lane, Yopaj doing about as good as he could expect, right? In the first wave, he gets his 4 CS, and then after that, it's just going to be a little rough. As Malrina's got 2 points in the poison attack, and can't really approach the lane anymore. That's a high tower damage.
I feel like it'd be a slow start for this lanes. I mean, it's going to be a great start for Falcons, but I don't know if we'll see too many kills actually happen until a little later. I say that, Skim's got to run, but Pugna's pretty fast. Should be fine.
Yeah. It's really this is like a really strong lane duo because Shockwave, the slow is pretty substantial, and that's enough to set up a Light Strike array. And with Fiery Soul as your other ability, you just get a lot of extra auto attacks in during that process. You're just always going to have mana on the Lina. I'm curious what Crit's build is going to be if he is just going to rush like Wand Boots into the Shard, which we've been seeing the Shard be incredibly useful, but as a support, sometimes we see people opt for things, you know, like Solar Crest and Drums and Glimmer Cape, stuff like that. Oh god, I don't even want to look at mid lane. Okay, I kind of want to look at mid lane.
Can't help myself.
20 and 13 to 7 and 2. Yeah, this is about what I would expect.
Viper Gaming.
You got him. And he forced the wave. Dude, that's so...
That's so rude, Malrine.
That's messed up. That's such
The
a big
painful thing
goof.
is, Tiny's not even the greatest at clearing stacks either. So it's really not that great of an option for him. I mean, maybe you still got to do it, but there's certainly better heroes for that. But I mean, that's the power of the last pick. Falcons, man, it's so tricky to play against them when they have so many polarizing heroes like that, right? Like they ban out the Huskar, and it's, oh, I forgot about the Viper. You know, it's like if you don't cover every angle, you get like Razor last pick, the Doom comes in. Like first and last pick is so scary for this team when they have so many specialist heroes.
Amaterasu, he tries to maybe bait this with the Lotus, but and they end up just getting a lot of damage out onto this Broodmother. He's going to pop that Satiable Hunger, try and heal up here a little bit, but...
Is it a bait if you just lose all your health and don't...
Yeah, I was like, maybe they were trying to bait and pull them in forward, but they didn't really get any damage out the other way. Because otherwise, I don't know what he was doing here. He just stood still while they walked at him. Tiny about to hit 2-digit CS here.
This is me in the mid lane.
Big moment.
Not against a Viper, just me playing mid.
Yeah, it's just me and Dota.
10 CS at 5 minutes, let's go.
So he's closing in on his level 5. Does have his boots. Like I said, at this point, pretty much your best bet is to just gank. So they're going to put an aggressive ward up here. They're going to come bottom and see if they can find a kill. Snake King would be absolutely perfect, but they're looking for Skitter. He's pretty far forward. He's going to walk into the Bramble, and there it is, the Avalanche. The missile is out onto Yopaj. The toss is there, but in comes Crit as well. They get first, but it goes to Hellscream. That is the best thing you could ask for, but you're going to lose Hellscream in the process. Crit does a lot of damage. Throws that Blood Grenade out. Amaterasu trying to chase down 4 more. Do they have any more spells on the Tiny?
They're just up, so they're going to see if they want to dive.
Just toss the catapult onto the Naga Siren. Uh-oh. Well, they're baiting. They're going to TP back in here on Skitter, but Yopaj is still there. The Avalanche is out. Snake King, he lives on just a sliver of HP, but Hellscream's going to snipe him. All right. I mean, not that worth it, honestly, for Shopify, because you're spending a lot of time here in the bottom lane, and you still lose the Broodmother for this.
Maybe it's worth it, though. Because like, usually I would agree, but I mean, I guess if your options are getting dumpstered in mid versus like kind of an okay trade in the bottom lane and your Tiny gets something, you know, maybe it's better than just losing to Viper.
Dire are scanning.
Haste Rune from Malrine, that's a scary one. So 7-minute runes coming up. They are going to find Crit here on the side. Bramble will hold him in place. Light Strike away, buying him a little bit of space, but the Broodmother should be able to just run him down very easily. That's a big kill for this hero. In mid lane, Yopaj, he is getting dove. The Decrep, it's trying to save him, but it's not enough. And Malrine will be able to just dive the tower here with the help of the skeletons. Turns back around here on Skem. He's going to get this kill. That's... unfortunately, no experience going to any hero on Shopify. And the gold bounty, not even that much either.
Yeah, the important thing is that you killed the Tiny first. Like, even if Pugna survived and got the kill, it's not like Pugna massively changes the tempo of the game. It's the Tiny having a good game that matters. So as long as he's being killed, I think Viper's going to be relatively fine with that. Maybe didn't want to die, of course, but...
Off the mark with the Bramble there. Makes it very difficult to chase that Gyrocopter.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They are bringing heroes top. They want to find the Sven. They will do exactly that. Skitter, with the help of Snake King, will lock him down for the moment. Deluge just making it impossible to run away from these guys. And that kill going to the hands of the Gyrocopter. Mid lane. Crit's going to get found, though. And the tree toss should be enough to finish it. Well, nice stick, though. Crit just going to toss in the Dark Willow to secure the kill. Now, does have a TP available. For now, he's okay, though. Just walks away. That's an invis on Yopaj. They drop a sentry. Don't see him quite yet. They're going bottom. They actually want to try and get Skitter with this.
He's backing up though, so yeah, it doesn't look like they can connect on it. Okay, Tiny finding some stuff. 1, 1, and 3. Still bottom of the cores in terms of net worth, but I've seen worse when you get Vipered. I've seen worse. Copium.
Yeah, it's the problem is that it's a Tiny, which is not a hero that plays well from behind. Arguably one of the worst mid laners to play from behind. Because the whole point of a Tiny mid is that you get an early Blink Dagger and you start kind of shutting down specific heroes. You're at a moment right now where you are a Blink Dagger away from Blink Dagger at 10 minutes, at not like 9 minutes plus into the game. We're looking at like a maybe a support timed Blink Dagger at best.
Got the 6 on the Brood. They do take the tower. So opening up the map and trading towers for a Brood is typically good since her mobility is better than most other heroes. So maybe this is something they needed to wait for. Maybe Brood can start. Well, you won't contribute yet. You'll actually just farm on your own first. And this is where the Falcons draft is really nice. Usually you're scared of the Brood 6 and like, okay, bottom lane's over. You know, just give up that part of the map. But you have a lot of heroes who can go and just hold it. I'd say literally 4 of your heroes do not mind. The supports might die, but they're gonna farm a bunch of spiders in the meantime. Make it kind of okay.
I'm curious if the passive on, or the innate on Lina is actually enough to like pop the spiders with one spell.
The math question for the NA casters? I don't know.
I'm not doing the math. I'm just saying it out loud, and I'm going to see if it happens. And that's how I'll know my results. I do no calculations.
I'll attempt the math. Let me look.
Smoke up to the top side here, looking for Amar. He's going to channel onto the well. He's going to get scouted as a result. Pops that Lotus to try and get himself a little bit of space here. He is tanky, 1,700 HP currently. A nice RP onto 2. Amar's just going to walk away. Pigging out, he's fine.
You usually might say like, oh, you didn't get anything for RP, that feels bad. Oh, good illusion rune. Maybe still not enough though.
Probably not. The LSA does come out from Schem, or onto Schem to cancel out the life drain, and Yopaj is just going to get walked to the fountain here, as he's now just going to turn his attention on Malrine to try and finish off this Pugna. Well, wait a minute. You don't win this fight, apparently. And there's a Brood Mother on the way. This would be a huge kill for the Brood if he can finish this one, and he's got the damage. That's a big win. Song of the Siren not in time. And a huge amount of gold going into this hand of the Brood.
Shopify managing to find something, because this game is starting to really get out of hand. But a Viper kill is massive, and you have to be very careful on those types of heroes. The Viper, the Huskars. If you give up 1, 2 kills, it's a huge deal, right? Because of how much gold and XP go back the other way after you have such a strong start. And Brood is a very scary hero to give that to, because she is also an explosive hero once she hits 6. We see her, she was struggling, but she's suddenly second on the net worth.
Yeah, that is the hero that can get a lot done. We know this is his best and most successful hero, right? He's known as the Brood specialist right now. And he is going to be going for the early Manta style like we talked about.
Tiny's blink looking like 700 gold. All right, look away.
Not great.
We'll check back in later.
Well, we'll see in a couple minutes. We'll see how he's doing. Mid lane, tier 1 tower being sieged. They're going to pop the fortification just to try and waste a little bit of time here, but it doesn't look like they can contest. Amar is here on the Magnus. They scout him out. They're just going to give up the tower. Top lane, they are pinging on snaking. He's kind of following this Tiny around the map for the moment.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
Blink RP is now available. The first one just used to get away. I think that's kind of okay. I mean, obviously you'd like to kill, but if you're just maintaining the status quo, which was they were winning all 3 lanes, I think that's okay. But now, losing that Viper kill, now the second RP definitely got to get something out of it. Smoke up.
All right, I like the fort. Still protecting the bottom tower here. Blink Skewer just off the mark from Amar there. So nice escape there from Hellscream. And with this, they might actually be able to bring this bottom tower down quite a bit with the 4-point Nether Blast in the Pugna. And of course, Broodmother, who can just continue to chip at it with the spiders. They're bringing some extra heroes, though. Alina, they aren't entirely sure she's here thanks to the smoke, but they will see her now. And Snaking, going to find the Dark Will onto the backside. Does have a Terrorize, does connect with that onto the Lina. But Snaking, can he get the TP out? No, interrupted by Amar. They will finally secure that kill. And now the Broodmother and Skem will go ahead and just disengage. They want none of this.
It's not too bad only losing a support, but they didn't have to commit anything big. So there's nothing really stopping Falcons from just continuing, which it looks like they want to get this last tier 1. Not too much. They're backing off.
I guess they don't know the tiny blink, right? If it's up or not.
Yeah.
They have to know it's close, right? When you're this far behind on a tiny, you're probably expecting it between 15 and 17 minutes. So Yopaj definitely struggling in terms of getting the blink dagger, but it is going to be close. That being said, Skitter is having a great time on the gyrocopter. We just barely saw his items for a moment there, but he's got the Chrysalis on his way to the Aghanim Scepter, over halfway there.
I mean, he's been pretty quiet this game because he just gets to farm. I say that he's like 2-1-1, but he's mostly just been farming.
Yeah, there we go.
Join
Blink
like
timing.
Wonder.
I mean, finding crit is not ideal, but you will take it. The Avalanche, the toss back. They actually miss. They miss everything. The Bramble as well as the Dark Willow spells, but it's just turned around on 2 dead for Shopify. And Snaking, he's got a Song of the Siren if he even wants to use it. Terrorize does connect onto 2, but your Sven is dead. A huge miscommunication from Shopify. Cost them 3 kills.
Not the blink reveal you were hoping for. Tiny has to jump in. Unfortunately, Viper's right there to just immediately Viper strike. I guess silver lining, Lina did die first, so they got some XP for it at the least, but pretty painful to lose all the rest of your heroes.
It's just that you go for the Avatar's back, and he tossed it to the Pugna instead. It's just a little bit of a misclick, but it allows Crit to just walk away, and the rest of the team to just go in with confidence, knowing that they're nowhere close to helping. Now, with the fight bottom, the RP is out. They pull the Broodmother underneath the tower. They get the kill. Snaking, trying to hobble away. It's going to be Hellscream to try and finish the job, but he just doesn't have it.
He doesn't get
20 HP. He lives, and Skem goes down as well. They're just getting outplayed in every single fight. Shopify 3-0 as Yopaj is looking for scraps on the side of this fight. If he does manage to see the gyrocopter here, he could kill him, but doesn't find him. And now they will scout him as he walks across the mid lane. Yeah, I mean,
Trying to get Amar, but he never had to use RP earlier, so he finally gets to use it defensively. You're under the tier 2. All the rotations come in. A little unlucky with the Bedlam hit. Could have at least gotten Snaking, maybe.
yeah. I mean, he almost manta dodged the RP. I'll give him that. It was pretty slick. It was very close, but not quite close enough.
Amaterasu scouts him out with the spiders. I feel like you maybe want to avoid, but maybe trying to use God Strength to get something. Oh, they did not get the toss.
No, he doesn't get the toss back, and instead he's just dead before the fight really starts. Broodmother forced to try to disengage, but Snake King says no. Pops the Song of the Siren, gonna put the team to sleep while the rest of them close on in. Light Striker Ray comes out, deletes the Broodmother. Now it's just Skem's turn. Nowhere to go. Double kill for Malrine. 3 more dead on the side of Shopify with no response.
I'm trying to think of what you can
Dire's middle tower is
do.
under attack.
Okay, it's at this point that I'd like to highlight that Sven is very close to the Blink Dagger, which means he can now start participating, which goes back to why this Viper pick was so good. Up till now, this like 19-minute mark, it's pretty much all been on the Tiny to do things, and he finished the Blink at what, like a little after 15 minutes? So that's like a 4-minute window that you could make plays out of like the 20-minute game we've had. And that's why Viper shutting down the Tiny has been so good for Falcons. And they can still make plays, either just by walking at buildings because Viper is so strong, or the Magnus's timing was fine and he's getting a Blink Dagger to do things, whereas Brood is not that type of hero. Right? Even the supports, Lina has a stun, Naga has Ensnare and Song. Technically you have Dark Willow, but her stuff is kind of slow.
They do find Crit on the backside as he's trying to scout while they finish up the Roshan, so... Again, another kill going that way, but a big fight breaking out of the front side. They almost get Skitter, but an Aegis actually stolen by Shopify. The Blink reveal from the Sven actually doing a big amount of work there. They get Snaking as well. 3 dead on the side of Falcons is now. Stormhammer is going to connect, and if they get the Viper, this is huge. They're just going to give it up. What just happened?
Shopify so back? Question mark? That was Sven jumping into the Roche pit, getting a big cleave. They're now gonna steal Tormentor as well.
Trying to think.
Yeah, so as this was going on, they jumped in, managed.
Stormhammer is gonna connect, and if they get the Viper, this is huge. They're just gonna give it up. What just happened?
Shopify so back? Question mark? That was Sven jumping into the Roche pit, getting a big cleave. They're now gonna steal Tormentor as well.
Trying to think.
Yeah, so as this was going on, they jumped in, managed to steal the Aegis and had the God Strength going, so they had a huge amount of cleaves. This is where the game snowballs, right? Like a little more damage on the Sven, a little less health on the side of Falcons. Maybe you're just getting like a rampage there. But still, that's massive. That brought back that game so much for them. It was, I think, 6-7K difference right before that.
Yeah, it was like a 7K advantage. You take the Aegis out of the hands of Falcons and you bring it down to just 2,000. So that is probably the best thing that could have happened for Shopify. It's really their only way of keeping themselves in this game as well. Because if that Aegis ends up into the hands of the Gyrocopter, he's got a BKB coming out definitely before that Aegis would expire. And they're going high ground with it. So, huge win.
I mean, it's a nice thing about Sven, right? As long as he's doing okay, which he is, he's mostly keeping up with the Gyro. God Strength AoE cleave is always a way that you can maybe come back. There's no guarantee the enemy groups up, but there's a couple major objectives that usually forces that, such as the Roshan and often the tier 3 towers. So that was kind of one of their only hopes to get back into it, and they have found it. So we are sort of back to a more even game, which at this point, Tiny's kind of back to what he needs to do, the Blink bosses.
Oh, that is a fantastic find. They bring the whole team bottom to secure the kill there onto the Sven. Now, Song of the Siren is out. They don't know about the Tiny, who's sleeping up on the high ground. Instead, they're going to find both of the supports. LSA's out onto the Pugna. In comes the Broodmother. Trying to finish off Snaking. RP comes out, locks down the Brood instead. 3 dead on the side of Shopify Hellstream, trying to TP to safety, but the root is out. They will get themselves another kill. 4 for the side of Falcons.
Falcons is so back.
It's like, you know, Shopify had a moment to catch their breath, but not for long, it would seem.
I mean, losing the Sven sucks. I think they needed to cut that loss faster. They could have limited it to just the Sven dying, but I Well, it was a good song from Naga. I guess they were trying to retreat. This is why Naga has been so good. She prevents everyone else from getting away. So you push that from 1 kill to 4 kills.
Yeah.
Maybe if you cut out the Sven faster, you get out. I'm not sure. I didn't see exactly where they were.
Ooh.
Yopaj doing some fast blinks. This is like the second one. Last 20 seconds. Another Tormentor. Pugna's maybe not the best, but... I was gonna say earlier, Viper is entering this period where he kind of drops off after the landing stage. He'll get really strong again in the late game. But the nice thing about this game is that really you just need to ult the Sven. Like so much of the damage comes in from the Sven, so as long as you pop your ult on him, you're contributing, you're helping out, and then you do whatever damage you can in the meantime.
Yeah, you're starting to run into a gyro issue for sure. He's level 18 now. The BKB, Aghanim Scepter, pulls the Chrysalis, all completed. Now mid lane, Yamato is looking for a target. He's got his team smoked up beside him, but unfortunately for them, the Magnus retreats into the triangle, so they're not going to find anything with this. Just the bottom tier 2 tower, it looks like, as the fortification comes out. Pugna will continue to kind of chip away at it, but seemingly Falcons do not care.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good read from Falcons. They know they're taking the top side of the map and they're not seeing anyone stop them. So they know to be careful of that bottom half of the map, not feed any kills back. I think, you know, after the Roche, you're winning, you're feeling good. Oh yeah, game 1, easy, game 2, doing well. You get wiped that Roche, you're like, okay guys, you know, tighten up, be careful, pull it back, no more risks, no more throws. Clean finish. So they're gonna be very careful not to give any free kills back over to Shopify.
Dude, this mid tier 1 tower still alive is wild at 25 minutes. When you, especially when you have a hero like Broodmother. Schem gets found bottom of Mars, skewers him into the tower. Now an avalanche from Yopaj might get him to safety. He's gonna try and play into the trees. Look for a TP out. Looks like it's gonna be successful. Nice save there off the brambles from Hellscream.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Falcons going for their own smoke. I think they have a rough idea Pugna TP'd home, so they're trying to catch people split off.
Yeah, you're just gonna threaten bottom tier 3 here. You got a catapult and all these spiderlings, so someone's gonna have to come back to deal with this. And we'll finally see Skitter show mid as he pops his smoke to do so. And mid lane, they skewer. They actually pulls out someone with the Magnus. Okay, they get the Pugna. All right. He just went fishing. He didn't even have a ward. He blinked a blind just hoping to see a hero.
Yeah, that tier 3 took a lot of damage, though. Half of it down.
He's going to get it.
The next time, yeah, Brood's coming back. Someone's got to come in here.
Catapult's still alive. Like, you have to bring someone back or it's dead. Snaking going to try his best here, but the spiders as well as the Manta illusions and the catapult. It's going to be close. It's not enough. All right. But
I mean, that's still scary, though, right? Like, that was the Fortify, too, to try to keep it alive.
Oh, my gosh. Amar got him. The harpoon into RP. What a sick play here from the Magnus. Just sets up another big kill as they take down the Broodmother.
That's a nice find. Otherwise, you keep running to this issue where you want to push other things, you want to set up for Roche, and because that tower is so low, I didn't even get to finish my statement, right? Like, the next time Brood comes back, she'll finish that tower, she'll take some barracks. Someone's always going to have to keep coming back down here until you kill her and you finally buy yourself some time to do other things. Oh, Yamato's trying to be sneaky, but runs straight into a Naga illusion down bottom. That's so annoying. That's the strength of Naga, right? It's not just the song, but the illusion vision just constantly moving around. She's even finding him.
They see this
She
under
could
reward,
stomp
though.
to catch him if she wanted to.
They're going to try. Crit's going to get found. Yamato just walks right by. Yules buys him some time, and only the Siren's there, but break the Viper onto this Sven is just causing so many problems. With the Song of the Siren expiring, there's going to be the Harpoon, the Skewer back, and good night, Sven. He's in such a rough spot. It's only a matter of time before they find another one, and it's going to be Yopaj. Scam going to join his team in the grave as now the rest of Shopify trying to find their way out, but Amar goes fishing, gets another kill. 4 dead on Shopify, still finding absolutely nothing.
Absolutely no sense.
A single Yule Scepter breaks Shopify's back.
That was so much setup from the Naga Siren there. The vision to know Sven was in that bottom position. She starts looking around, finds the real Sven. The song reset kind of wastes a lot of the BKB time on Sven. And then everyone else is doing so well, right? They now have all the freedom to choose the best targets to go to. And the death timers are long enough that even though that fight was kind of far out from their base, here they are trying to match that 2-3 damage from earlier. Those spiders, the work they did, are going to do their own.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't think they'll get it now, thanks to that fortify, but they should have. This should let them just go set up freely at Roche, and I don't think we're gonna see the same thing happen again, where they let the Sven slip in there.
Is under attack.
Dude, Viper has a Scotty. Good luck. Good luck. Now, you did manage to finish Konda on their Broodmother here, which is a pretty big item in terms of your damage output potential, but you're really under-leveled. Like, you should be level 18 roughly by now.
Dire's bottom
They're definitely feeling it on the side of Shopify. They're going to go through the Twin Gate
Oh, they're gonna find
with
crit for
everybody,
free.
and they will just get crit, okay? Roshan going to come through the gate as well here as it's switching over to daytime, so maybe Shopify can find themselves Roche in the process. Now, because they took Roche themselves last time, or technically stole it, it will give the roar, so Falcons will know that this is going on.
Oh, that's true. Wait, I don't. Oh, okay, I guess it is. Did they kill Roche or did they just steal the
Sven
Aegis?
killed it. Sven got the
Okay,
lead kill.
okay.
All right, here they come. Scam has the ward down. Brambles to try and cut off the initiation, but we're gonna go for the wraparound here on Falcons, but it's a little late. It took them too long. The Broodmother's gonna be the one that picks up the Aegis as Sven's already popped that God Strength. RP's gonna catch him as he blinks in. Oh no! That is the worst possible thing that could happen. Shopify down 2 as the Broodmother's gonna join him. The Aegis not gonna get you a whole lot of anything here as that's a dive. I mean, just back-to-back deaths. All 3 cores dead. Shopify find basically nothing.
Man, I thought Hellscream bought them enough time with the Yules on the Magnus. I guess you can't really retreat out of that position, though. So they felt they needed to try to fight their way out, and that leads Amar to still end up with a really good RP. Here's the
Did
bottom barracks.
Sven
You go straight
blink?
mid. The mid waves here.
Oh, yeah. Sven, like, blinked in to try and go for Skitter is what happened, and gets immediately RP'd. Not even intentional. Like, Amar was just trying to RP the Broodmother back, but gets the Sven as well. Man, that's rough. Fortification, final one being committed here. You've lost 1 lane of barracks, potentially a second, but Shopify gonna do their best to maybe hold this one out. For now, though, Falcons seem pretty much unbothered.
I mean, you're looking pretty strong. You could wait for RP if you wanted to. I think you can probably just sit behind Skitter and Malrine as they take the last set.
You're only
Or you
playing
can
the
also go
toss back,
hunting.
but instead it's a skewer forward as the Broodmother gets brought down. Skem trying his best to keep him alive, but it's just too much damage.
is under attack.
2 heroes dead. You have a toss back. You committed God Strength. You got to do something.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
They just GG out. They're done.
Yeah, I mean, pretty understandable at this point. There's really not much you can do. It ended up being a lot closer than I thought. That Viper pick